All right. Good afternoon, travel advisors, and maybe good morning to some. I know for Jamaica, it's morning still. So, good afternoon/morning, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We've had a really great series with the U.S. Virgin Islands of webinars, and today is continuing the upward trajectory of all the great featured suppliers that we've had with us. So, I'm going to just chat a little bit to let some more of your colleagues come in, but you guys are pouring in pretty good. So thank you very much. So those of you who don't know me, my name is Kay Milliner Kitchens. I am the Director of Sales for the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Tourism. And today our featured hotelier is none other than Gallows Point Resort on the beautiful island of St. John. And we have their intrepid representative with us today, Miss Jamaica Hamilton. Say hello.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
Jamaica's been with Gallows for quite some time. So, any questions that you guys have as we go along that maybe it's something that she hasn't touched on, please feel free to drop questions in the chat. And I see you guys are already in the chat. So, thank you for utilizing it, saying hello and everything. And if you have a question that maybe you want to ask privately, you can do it in the Q&A as well. That section is a great resource to drop questions in. So after we go through our presentation and share with you what we have, we'll go through the Q&A and the chat to see what questions we have there. I'll try to answer some as Jamaica is doing her presentation, and then Jamaica will definitely answer anything that you guys put in there for specifically for Gallows Point. So not to worry, everybody is muted. That's something that everybody always asks, are we muted? Yes, you are muted. So be as loud as you need to be on your end. You won't be disturbing anyone. And that's about it. We are recording. Everybody always asks, are we recording? Yes. So if you need to step away or, you have another meeting pop in, it's okay. We will be sending out this recording, and then you'll have Jamaica's information. Of course, you have mine. You'll be able to reach out to us whenever you need to with any questions about the destination or specifically Gallows Point. So without further ado, let's jump into the presentation because I know everybody is busy and has a lot going on today. So welcome again to the U.S. Virgin Islands, the United States Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. We have a brand new, I guess I would say, promotion for the destination. We are referring to ourselves as being naturally in rhythm because we feel that when your clients arrive, they will instantly become naturally in rhythm with the U.S. Virgin Islands. So let's take a look.
Our heartbeat is the rhythm of life, and nowhere else is it felt quite like here. You can sense it in the tempo of the tides and breezes, and in the artistic expressions of our people. For ours are no ordinary Caribbean islands, and yours no ordinary Caribbean vacation in the U.S. Virgin Islands, naturally in rhythm.
So hopefully that video kind of gets you in the mindset of some of the experiences that your clients can have when they are in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I always like to go back to the beginning and make sure I get everybody up to speed as to who we are and where we are, just in case you aren't as familiar with the U.S. Virgin Islands. We are primarily made up of 3 principal islands, St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas. As you can see, we're pretty close to the mainland from this map. And then there's also Water Island, which we like to affectionately call the 4th U.S. Virgin Island. It's very easy to navigate your way throughout the U.S. Virgin Islands. So one of our biggest selling points is being able to island hop. So your clients can really have very different experiences on their vacation. And if you plan, at least I would say a 5 to 7 night stay, you can realistically probably see all 4 of the U.S. Virgin Islands when you're down. So as you can see from here, St. Thomas and St. John are very close together in proximity. And speaking of the island hopping, these 2 islands are just 15 minutes apart on the ferry. So you can go back and forth as much as you like between St. Thomas and St. John. And that's really what a lot of people do. You can stay in St. Thomas and then hop over to St. John. It only costs you like $8 and change each way. So it's very easy to go back and forth. And then St. Croix, you can see, is a little further away. You have two options to get to St. Croix. You can either do a 20-minute seaplane ride on Seabourn Airlines, also known as Silver Airways, which I always love to do. It's an adventure in and of itself. So it's might be on some of your clients' bucket list to do a seaplane. So it's really a really cool way to travel. Then we also have a ferry between St. Thomas and St. Croix. It's a little bit of a longer journey, and I definitely recommend you have your sea legs for the ferry between St. Thomas and St. Croix. So one of the most convenient things about travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands is that we are U.S. territory, and that means U.S. citizens don't need a passport to travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands. This came in very, very handy during the pandemic, and we saw record numbers of travelers from North America coming into the U.S. Virgin Islands. So we were excited to see that. So a lot of people got to experience the destination for the first time ever and fall in love with it and fall naturally in rhythm with the U.S. Virgin Islands. We're only 2.5 hours from Miami, 3.5 from Atlanta and JFK. So again, it does make choosing a vacation in the U.S. Virgin Islands very, very easy for your clients. A lot of great airlift into the USVI as well. As you can see, into St. Croix, we have nonstop service out of Atlanta, Charlotte, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. You can also do connecting service out of Puerto Rico. Into St. Thomas, you have a few more options. A lot of our flight options are seasonal as well. So if you're looking for certain flights during certain times of the year and you're not seeing it, a lot of this flight service is available primarily in the winter. But Atlanta is all year round, and so is Miami as well. So you have a lot of options to get your clients into the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I mentioned that all three offer your clients the ability to have very different experiences. Each island is very different from the other. St. Thomas, she is the more cosmopolitan of the three U.S. Virgin Islands, and she's probably the most well-known of the three U.S. Virgins. You can do some really good damage shopping in the USVI, especially on St. Thomas. So let's take a look.
St. Thomas is known for many things. Its picturesque harbor, duty-free shopping, and exciting adventures, from wildlife encounters to beautiful vistas. This bustling cosmopolitan island is filled with wonder. Experience it all in the next 60 seconds.
Kick off your visit with a stroll around Emancipation Garden and then take a sky ride up to Paradise Point for the best view of Charlotte Amalia Harbor. While you're up there, enjoy the USVI's original cocktail, the Bushwhacker. See what's blooming over at the Botanical Garden. Now on to see what's cooking in the streets. Freco, pate, Johnny cakes. These authentic island eats are some of St. Thomas's best treats. Take a walk through history and discover hidden treasures of the deep blue sea. Or walk on the sand floors of one of the oldest synagogues in the world. Stroll down the breathtaking Megan's Bay Beach, or dare to take on some excitement, like swimming with dolphins in this dolphin sea sanctuary. Soar in the sky with a helicopter ride for a bird's eye view of this stunning island. Enjoy this hilltop view while sipping a classic Cruzan rum cocktail with some locally caught seafood. It's no surprise that people call this tropical wonderland a top destination in the Caribbean.
As you can see, she's a very busy island. She's got a lot going on. This is the island where you're going to have your highest concentration of hotel rooms, nightlife, restaurants, shopping. So there's a lot to do to keep the client busy. And this is oftentimes the island that I recommend when people are saying, okay, my clients have never been to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Which one should they pick? So St. Thomas is a great gateway island to all three of the U.S. Virgin Islands because you have so much to do on that island. I always like to spend a little bit of time also talking about what we have in terms of culinary. And this is something that is a big part of your vacation experience when you come to the U.S. Virgin Islands. You're going to have so many fabulous dining experiences in the USVI. You don't want your clients to miss out on this. Locally caught fish and locally sourced ingredients for your meals and for your cocktails. It's just something that they'll come back talking about that meal they had at this restaurant or that restaurant, and probably try to duplicate or mimic some of the recipes that they had. So it's really something that you'll find some great dining options in St. Thomas, but also in St. Croix and St. John as well. Every time I'm asked for restaurant recommendations, I'm always shocked myself at how many different restaurants I list. So definitely want to make sure that your clients know to get ready for that part of the experience. And that is definitely something they'll probably look forward to and remember when they're in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So now we're going to take the short ferry ride over to St. John, where Miss Jamaica's property is located. It's only a 15-minute ride from St. Thomas over to St. John, and it's definitely well worth the journey. So let's take a look.
Although it's the smallest of the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. John is big in its natural beauty. So much so that Lawrence Rockefeller found it necessary to protect the island's lush forests, cultural artifacts, and amazing beaches. Witness it all in the next 60 seconds. Many people escape to St. John to witness the colorful scenery, explore its beauty, and relax. Their waterfront cottages and hillside villas offer pure tranquility, along with some of the best restaurants in Cruz Bay, creating a very distinct food scene. Tuck your toes in the dazzling white sand of these spectacular beaches and delve into the secret underworld to discover hidden sea creatures. Take a stroll around the world-famous Mongoose Junction and explore their quaint galleries and shops offering everything from cool art, clothing, and yummy desserts. A premier place for nature lovers, St. John is the perfect haven for an outdoor adventure through these subtropic forests and steep slopes. Hit the beach for some games and live music, then onto the local bars for some nightlife fun. Now let's get going. The Love City awaits you.
And really, for a little island that's only 19 square miles, there's quite a bit to do on St. John. And Jamaica can definitely attest to that. But probably the biggest thing that St. John is known for, what a lot of people come for, is the national park. It's a small island, like I mentioned, 19 square miles, 2/3 of it is a national park. So there's a lot to see and explore. I think there's something like 27 hiking trails through the national park. So if you have clients who are outdoorsy, they like to be around nature, and they just want to take in the beauty of the Caribbean, they will not be disappointed with a stay in St. John. And another thing that a lot of people who are looking at St. John don't instantly think of are the beaches. The beaches are located, a lot of them on St. John, in the national park. So you're going to find some of the most beautiful, pristine beaches in the world on the island of St. John. So not only if you're clients or nature lovers, but if they're beach bums and they just want to take in beautiful beaches day after day after day. There's so many to explore. Honeymoon Beach, Cinnamon Bay, Hawk's Nest, one of my favorites, Maho Bay. This is Maho here. So there's so much to see and do in terms of beaches. And, you know, it's like they say, no filters needed in St. John, because all of your photos coming back are going to be so breathtaking. So definitely one for people who are into nature and beauty. So St. Croix is the largest of the 3 U.S. Virgin Islands. A lot going on this island. We like to refer to St. Croix as our cultural bearer, because it's almost like being in a living museum when you walk around St. Croix. All the history and the culture is just right up in your face, front and center. Let's take a look.
When flying into St. Croix, be sure to grab a window seat. If there's one color that defines the Caribbean, it's blue. And the blue of St. Croix is simply incomparable. From pristine beaches to historic gems preserved for decades. But don't be fooled. There's plenty more to see and do on this island than just the beach. Experience it all in the next 60 seconds.
Here on this U.S. Virgin Island, one of the best places to rise with the sun is at Point Udall, not too far from some of St. Croix's most unique and scenic hotels. Start your day off with an adventurous ride to witness breathtaking scenery, and then head to the famous Buck Island to enjoy this crystal blue sea. Now this is island life. But what would island life be without food? While here on St. Croix, stop by the farmer's market for some fresh produce, and be sure to swing by Cast Iron Pot or Lorraine's Chicken Shack and eat your heart out. From fine dining to local Caribbean desserts, if it's one thing St. Croix has plenty of, it's certainly authentic Caribbean cuisine. Spend the rest of your afternoon getting your history fix at Fort Christianburn, or watching special performances by local quadrille dancers or the Moco Jumpies. And kick off the perfect island night watching the sunset with a special craft cocktail from some of the island's best bars and lounges. So, what are you waiting for? It's time to take on St. Croix and feel a vibe like no other.
So as you can see, I mean, even though you have a lot of that history and culture, like I mentioned, there's still so much to do that a lot of people are looking for when they think about a Caribbean vacation. One of the things that I'm excited about when it comes to St. Croix is just recently at the start of the year, President Biden designated St. Croix a national heritage area. So that kind of just lets you know, with the abundance of the nature, the beauty, the history, all these wonderful things that are on one island, and its contributions and impact to the U.S. and the people of the Virgin Islands, it deserves that distinction. So great for your history buffs, great for your folks, again, still looking for nature. One of the beautiful things too about St. Croix is Buck Island. It's one of my favorite places in the whole world. It's an underwater U.S. national monument. You can do a half a day or a full day sail out to Buck Island. The snorkeling is phenomenal out there, and the sand is so white and soft. It's just a great day out on the water when you go out to Buck Island. But you also have, in my view, some of the best culinary in the USVI in St. Croix. We're home there to 2 rum distilleries, Cruz Rum and Captain Morgan Rum. And then we also have vodka, Mutiny Island Vodka Distillery, that is a company that makes vodka out of breadfruit. So you really do have a lot of opportunities to have unique off the beaten path experiences in St. Croix. We also have a stunning rainforest in St. Croix. You can do ATV tours or Jeep tours of the rainforest. And these guides will take you all the way out to the tide pools as well. And you can hang out in the tide pools and enjoy that water as it comes in with the tide. I mentioned some off the beaten path experiences. Well, I bet you've never fed a beer drinking pig before in your entire life. So this is something you can check off your bucket list if you come to St. Croix, but no worries, no pigs were harmed in the beer drinking process. These were non-alcoholic beers that they served to the pigs, and they're actually rescue boars that are out in the wild. So it's a great opportunity to do something different, unique, fun, again, off the beaten path for your clients who are interested in a little bit more than just your normal activities while you're on vacation. So somebody asked about diving in the chat. So all 3 of the U.S. Virgin Islands really do offer superior diving experiences: St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John, and then we have hundreds of uninhabited keys as well. But St. Croix is probably the island out of the 3 that is best known for its diving. We have dozens of dive sites all along the north shore of St. Croix. And this island really allows you the opportunity to log varied dives. So you can do shore diving, pier diving, wall diving. We have the wall at Cane Bay, nighttime diving. So you have a lot of really cool opportunities to get a lot of different dives logged when you're in St. Croix. So if you have clients who are divers and they're looking maybe for a new dive destination, think about St. Croix because it really is a strong dive destination for our dive community. So now that we've kind of gone through a little bit about what each island has to offer, I want to spend a little time talking to you about some cultural experiences that your clients can have. And really, all year long, there are lots of different cultural opportunities in the USVI, but no other time can you have the cultural explosion of a lifetime than during one of our festivals. So the one that kicks it off is the St. Thomas Carnival. And it's really carnival for the whole of the USVI, but it happens on the island of St. Thomas. And I've included here the carnival schedule. So if you have clients who are going to be on island in St. Thomas, you definitely need to let them know that carnival is going on in April. And these are some activities that are going on that you might want to take part in because it's really, really fun. And it's just a great opportunity to really have a full cultural immersion in the USVI. So one of the things that we like to say is that we have 3 reasons to fet in the US Virgin Islands because we have the 3 different carnivals in the USVI. So let's take a look. If you're not familiar with fetting and what it all is entailed, this little quick video will give you an idea of what your clients can expect when they come to Carnival.
Well, States Virgin Islands Division of Festivals, my reason to fet. An in-depth look of one of the most celebrated events of the year, Carnival. At Carnival, we fet. And for those of you who do not know what a fet is a celebration, party, or festival. And in the Virgin Islands, we have 3. St. Thomas Carnival in April, the St. John 4th of July celebration, and the Crucian Christmas Festival in December. Good music, great food, and culture are the hallmarks of a good fet. And this will be your how-to guide on how to fet. In this episode, we will take a dive into St. Thomas Carnival and why after over 70 years, the excitement, passion, and energy from locals and tourists have yet to slow down.
I absolutely love Carnival, festivals, all of it. I mean, I can barely remember a day of my life without fetting in some kind of way. I truly believe fetting is a way of life.
Carnival in St. Thomas VI is an amazing experience. It's a time of year where we get to celebrate our culture, our music, our heritage, our freedom, our emancipation, everything as Caribbean people, especially from the Virgin Islands. It is one unique celebration that everybody in the entire world has to experience at least one time in your life.
First, I start off as a reveler like everybody else, you know what I mean? Just come in as a young child, experiencing Carnival for the first time, and you know, just fall in love with it from there. My parents had loved it, my grandparents had loved it, which is, you know, a very unique thing, especially at that time, for people of different generations to like the same thing. And I feel like that's part of why Carnival is what it is, you know what I mean? Going to Carnival is like going to a living museum. And, you know, to see how it has evolved but still stayed the same is kind of cool.
Carnival is deeply rooted within me. My parents are big Carnival people, and so I can think back to age 4, sitting in Post Office Square, watching the parades, getting the opportunity to become a majorette and what that really felt like, and you know, show our stuff going down in the beautiful outfits and costumes. And Carnival is just culture and color, and it's just so deeply rooted within me. I mean, I think my parents took me to my first Juve when I was 12. And they were like, all right, see ya.
Carnival is, well, overall, it's the most amazing time of the year in the Virgin Islands. And the reason why I say that is, it's just like that. To me, it's more family time than Thanksgiving, or Christmas, or Easter. Carnival at that time, you're gonna go to the children village, you're gonna go to this event, you can go to that event, but even in the children village, it's nothing but smiles. And you know, kids, innocent, they just wanna have fun. And they're gonna have the time of their life in the children village. So with that happening, I mean, it's the best. Always, fathers take the kids, you know, mothers take the kids, grandmothers out. Grandmother might not be able to run around behind them, but you know, that's just the best time. And you get the candy apples, you got all the food that you don't get all year round. You only get this one time a year. So it just make it special. When Carnival comes, it feels in the air, man. It's all in the air, just Carnival.
One of the things I love about Carnival in the US Virgin Islands is that, you know, for a good solid month, it is just so many people coming together, from children to youth groups to everybody, putting on just these fantastic presentations. You have Quilbe, you have Muko Jumbies, you have Panorama. I mean, it's all the time. It's beautiful.
So you can see it really is a fun time in the US Virgin Islands for Carnival. And some of you did ask about the schedule. So here it is again, and we can certainly put it up again at the end of the presentation. But here's here it is here. And then if you want to go to our Facebook or my Facebook, I did post it here, and we'll have those links at the end of the presentation as well. So you can go back and check some of these dates against your client's travel dates. So now let's just touch on a few items when it comes to hotel product. I know this is questions I'm always asked about hotels and wanting to know about this and that and all of the other when it comes to hotel product. Now, this is in no way a full accounting of every single product in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but it's a pretty good synopsis of properties. And everything that I'm showing you here, all these properties do pay travel agent commissions. So let's just take a look real quick. So starting off with the Ritz-Carlton in St. Thomas, if you're looking for the most high-end option in the destination in terms of a resort property, it would be the Ritz-Carlton St. Thomas. They just finished a major renovation just before the pandemic. So you have the addition of another pool, cabanas, all the rooms have been redone. A lot of their restaurant spaces have been reimagined as well. They've also brought back in their kids club program. So if your clients are looking for something high end, then this would be the resort option available to them, the most high end. We also have Margaritaville, also in St. Thomas, located on the east end of the island. This particular property also been recently renovated as well. So you're going to find a lot of brand new rooms, hillside, and closer down to the beach. Of course, the favorite margarita machines in the rooms as well, which everybody comes to look for at Margaritaville. So a lot of great times and options to have. And you're really close to Red Hook here, where you can catch that ferry over to St. John. And you're also close to Coral World, where you can do dolphin swim as well. So it's a really good property to suggest to your clients. The Buccaneer would be your most high-end option on St. Croix. This is a beautiful property, sits on 340 acres. You have 3 beaches. You also have a tennis court, pool, and golf. So if your clients are looking to do some golfing, this is definitely the property you want to suggest to them for their clients. So all-inclusive, I'm always asked about all-inclusive. This is going to be your all-inclusive option available to your clients on the island of St. Croix. This is also an adults-only property and a full-service casino. So if you have clients who want all-inclusive, this is going to be one of the options that you suggest to them in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Back over to St. John, we've got the Westin. This is going to be your largest resort property on that island. As you can see, there's a beach, also great restaurant on the property as well. Just be aware, though, that this is a timeshare property primarily. So your clients may or may not get approached. So just bear that in mind when you're looking at the Westin St. John, but another beautiful property on the island of St. John. Carambola Beach Resort back on St. Croix. So Carambola, you can see it's nestled there at the edge of the rainforest. Great diving right off of their beach as well. They're in the midst of a renovation at Carambola. So they're slowly but surely turning all of their rooms and making major changes to their rooms in terms of the decor, the soft goods and the hard goods in the room. So look for some major changes on the horizon for Carambola, but it is another great option to suggest to your clients. Frenchman's Reef, this is probably the property that everybody asked the most questions about. We had them on our earlier webinar. They are scheduled to start taking bookings in May. So keep an eye out in your GDS for when that's going to open up for your clients. But Frenchman's is the largest property in the USVI. So we are excited as well to see it reopen. It is now going to be known as the Westin at Frenchman's Reef. So no longer Marriott, now it will be Westin, same family. But now will be known as a Westin. So yes, we will have 2 Westins in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Secret Harbor Beach Resort, a beautiful, cozy, intimate property nestled again on the east side of the island. Very, very quiet, secluded. You have condo-style accommodations here, beautiful beach, great restaurants, stunning sunsets as well. So if your clients are looking for something low-key that comes with a full-size kitchen, this is definitely an option to suggest to your clients. They also have units on the hillside as well. So if the client maybe doesn't want to be on the beach, they can be up higher and take in the beautiful views from their condo unit as well. Belongo Bay, this is going to be your other all-inclusive option in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So this one is located on St. Thomas. So Belongo Bay, also more so like on the north side, but a great property to suggest to your clients. You're still not too far from Red Hook, where you can catch that ferry over to St. John. But it's a great family-run property, beautiful stretch of beach that it's on. Also has a catamaran, the Heavenly Days, that's available for sales, day sales out for its guests. So definitely an option to keep in mind. The Hideaway Hull Bay is one of our new properties in St. Thomas. It's an intimate property. I believe it has about 30 rooms. They have condo style. They also have cottages, villas. It's a really nice mix here. One of the neat things about this property is there's a farm right on the property. So the chef there, again, picks some of that locally sourced ingredients for those hot meals that you're going to have in the USVI. And then you're right next to Hull Bay, which is a beautifully stunning beach, great for surfing and kite surfing, but it's a really nice beach there in St. Thomas as well. So if you're looking to be in the middle of all the action, there's At Home in the Tropics. This is a bed and breakfast, a 4-room bed and breakfast in the heart of downtown Charlotte Amalia. You can really walk to a lot of things just from this property. Sits up pretty high so you can see beautiful views of the Charlotte Amalia Harbor. The owners live on property and they also do the cooking for the breakfast in the morning. Also have a little garden where, again, locally sourced ingredients are used for your breakfast. So bear that in mind if you have clients, especially who are history buffs, and just want something a little bit more intimate and cozy for their vacation experience. Gallows Point Resort. I'm not going to go too deep into Gallows, but Jamaica is going to give you the rundown. But it's a really, really lovely property. Just an easy walk into Cruz Bay from Gallows. Condo style accommodations. You see there, you have your pool. There's a workout room, which I appreciate on vacation. But it's a really nice property to book for your clients. And I'm going to stop there and let Jamaica really get into why it's just a great pick for them. Estate Lindholm, this is another bed and breakfast in St. John, just at the edge of the national park. So again, for those nature lovers, if you want to be surrounded by nature and just take in the beauty, another great property to suggest to your clients who are looking for St. John. Seashore Lure, this is another great one. Small, intimate property. I think they have about 10 or 11 units here. They have all the way up to 3 bedrooms, but very intimate. No beach, but again, the attraction for St. John isn't necessarily beaches at the property because you have so many beautiful beaches on the island. You're going to be beach hopping every single day. But really inside these units, it looks like Architectural Digest. It's just absolutely beautiful. So again, if the client is looking for something a little bit more intimate and cozy, Seashore Lure. The Waves at Cane Bay, beautiful new reimagined property in St. Croix, 11 units, right by the wall at Cane Bay. All the rooms have been renovated. Great restaurant on property. It's called Ama. Stunning sunsets as well. It's a really cool property, maybe to do a buyout, girlfriend's getaway, or maybe a small intimate destination wedding. But just really, really a lovely property to take in and enjoy. We also now have Sandcastle on the Beach there, where I featured presenter last week. Yeah, was it last week? Yes, last week, located on St. Croix in Frederickstead. So this is a great property to suggest also if you have clients who are going to be cruising and stopping in St. Croix. They do day passes. They sell day passes at Sandcastle on the Beach. So if you want to kind of hang out and just have use of some beach chairs and take in a stunning beach, you can contact the guys over at Sandcastle and, make some arrangements for your clients. But it's a really cool property. Again, another good one for a buyout. I believe they have about 32 rooms here. But it's a great opportunity to really have your clients experience the beauty of St. Croix at this property. King Christian Hotel is another reimagined property. This one is in Christianstead in St. Croix. No beach. However, you're walking distance to all the dining, shopping, activities and attractions, all that good stuff. Also a good one for families too, because they do have some 3-bedroom units available at King Christian as well. Livongo Resort and Beach Club. Some of you guys may have heard of Livongo. It's actually on the island of Livongo. So it's one of those separate keys I was telling you about in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So you can do some glamping at Livongo. So if you have clients who are interested in maybe doing a different twist on their vacation experience, check out Livongo. And then Wharfside Village Hotel. This is a new one in Cruz Bay in St. Croix, just down the road from Jamaica. Great little property, 15 rooms. Again, you're in the heart of everything in Cruz Bay. You can just kind of come out your room and just walk around and check out everything that's going on, from the live music, the shopping, the dining, all kinds of fun things going on in Cruz Bay. If you have clients who are looking more for villas, we do have quite an extensive collection of villas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, especially on the island of St. John. I oftentimes recommend Villas of Distinction or Wimco Villas for your clients who are looking to do villas. Yachting is also a big thing in the USVI. The crewed yacht vacations are really, really wonderful, where you come, where your ship comes with, where your vessel comes with the captain, comes with your chef, all your meals and your liquor are included. So it's a great way to see the destination. And if you're interested in maybe looking into one of these vacation experiences for your clients, just send me an email and I can put you in touch with a charter yacht broker who can assist you. Make sure you also become a USVI specialist. We have three different disciplines: general leisure, multi-generational, and romance. So if one of those or all of those are your niche, please jump in, take the course. It's really an easy course to complete, and that puts you in our database so we can make sure you know all about those spam opportunities coming up. If you're already a seller of the USVI, we do have a brand new rewards program also that we just rolled out, USVIrewards.com. Great opportunities to earn some great swag from the USVI. We also have some hotel stays available for you as well. So we want to thank you and incentivize you to keep selling the USVI. So just remember, you can go to USVIrewards.com to book all your bookings to the USVI. So here are the links I mentioned earlier if you're looking for any of these videos to use on your socials. And I'll pull this up again if you need it again, but this is a great opportunity to take a quick picture so you can keep up with all of our different socials and follow us and get some of those videos that you can share. So I am concluding my presentation, or my portion of my presentation. Jamaica, I will hand the floor over to you.
Okay, well, good afternoon and good morning to some. My name is Jamaica Hamilton, and I am a full-time reservations agent at Gallows Point Resort in St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands. I also handle marketing and advertising and a little bit of everything. So I'm very knowledgeable about the resort and St. John. St. John is home for me. I grew up there. I graduated high school there. So yes, it is home. But I have to say that, Kay does a wonderful job, and the Department of Tourism does a wonderful job with these, with the presentations, because I am ready to go visit St. Croix now and experience all these things that I haven't yet, even growing up in the Virgin Islands. So yeah, that was a great presentation. And yeah, I'm ready to book a little getaway to St. Croix. So I will begin the presentation with a video we did on the resort, just to give you a little idea on how, getting to the resort on the ferry, and just a glimpse before we get into the details. And I'm going to find the video. Here we go.
We're gonna stay young. We're gonna stay young forever. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have some fun together. Yes, we will. 'Cause these are the memories we'll keep. So hold on tight to every little thing. Don't let them pass you by. your sleep. So let's spend this time together, because these are the best of our days. These are the best of all our days. These are the best of our days. These are the best of all our days. So let's spend a little time together. Sweet as the sunshine, starting up the day. Side by side together, and that's where we'll stay. 'Cause these are the memories we'll keep. So hold on tight to every little thing. Don't let them pass you by in your sleep. So let's spend this time together, because these are the best of our days. These are the best of all our days. These are the best of our days. These are the best of all our days. So let's spend a little time together. These are the best of our days.
Okay, so that was our video. It just gives you a little glimpse of to getting the ferry from St. Thomas into Cruz Bay, St. John, and our Gallows Point shuttle picks the clients up upon their arrival, takes them to the resort, and the room in that video is the Ocean View Upper room, and I'll go over the room categories we offer. We offer 4 different room categories at the resort. And you will see from this photo here, this is the point. The resort is located on a 4-acre peninsula, which is walking distance to the main town of Cruz Bay, St. John. So it's super close, very convenient. You can walk to all the shops, restaurants, art galleries. But at the same time, it's peaceful. It's on a beautifully landscaped property, and so it feels farther from town than it is. And of course, we like to say we have a rocky shoreline rather than a white sand beach. There are plenty of those on St. John, but on the property, we do offer excellent snorkeling around the reef here at the resort. So we also offer on-site snorkel rentals as well. So I know Kay went over some of this earlier in her presentation, but this is the island of St. John. Gallows Point Resort is located right there, right next to Cruz Bay. And on the west side of the island, so just a 15 to 20 minute ferry ride from Red Hook. And I'll just skip over to here. So your clients will fly into Sierra Leone King Airport in St. Thomas. It's about a 30-minute taxi ride to the Red Hook passenger ferry, which leaves every hour on the hour. And that's about $17 per person plus luggage. Then they'll catch a 20-minute ferry to Cruz Bay, where our shuttle will pick them up. And of course, that is complimentary upon arrival and departure for our guests. So this is an aerial map, which you can also find on our website in case guests want to see exactly what their options are. All the buildings that are in blue, with the numbers in blue, are the ocean view rooms. So each building has 2 units on the ground floor, which we call the lower units, and then 2 units on the second floor, which we call the upper units. So all the ones in the blue are the ocean view lowers and ocean view upper units. All the ones in the green face Cruz Bay Harbor. And we have the harbor view lower units and harbor view upper units. A lot of people say rooms, we book rooms, but the units at the Gallows Point Resort are more like mini villas, I would say. They have full kitchens, everything you need. We have pots and pans, all of that. Full bathrooms, balcony, separate living room area, dining room area, in addition to the king size bedroom and the balcony and patio. All of them are waterfront, so you're either looking at the harbor water or out towards St. Thomas. And so, they're excellent views. We have repeat guests who come every year, and they love staying on the harbor side. They love seeing the sailboats taking off in the morning, setting sail, and then coming back in the evening. However, the harbor view has more boat traffic, so it is not quite as peaceful as the ocean side. So you'll see that the ocean side units are a little higher in price point than the harbor side. So each upper unit has the exact same layout, floor plan. It's a 2-story with full bath downstairs. The king bedroom is in a loft. So just know people who don't like stairs shouldn't be in the upper unit. But otherwise, you get the most expansive view in the upper unit. So you walk up a flight of stairs to the first door to the second floor. And then you walk up another flight of stairs to get to the king bedroom loft. But as you can see, all the upper units have balconies, and they all have gorgeous sea views. The upper units, one of the big differences other than the loft is there's a bath and a half. So there is a half bath in the king bedroom loft, whereas the lower units only have 1 full bath. So similar layout is just on the ground floor. There's a patio or a balcony, depending for the lower units. And the same thing, full kitchen, all of that. It's just instead of the loft bedroom, it's all on the 1 floor with still views from the living room, French doors that open up, and the back patio or balcony. Each unit does, even though they're all 1-bedroom units with king beds, they can accommodate up to 5 people maximum, and that's important to know for families traveling. So each living room offers a queen-size sleeper sofa for an additional 2 guests, and then we have the option with advance notice of bringing in a single rollaway bed to accommodate 5 people maximum. We do not accept children under the age of 5 years old. So while it is great for families, no young children are accepted. The harbor view, as I mentioned, same layout in the upper units as on the ocean. It's just the change in the view. You can see a little bit of the harbor with the boats there. The passenger ferry, which you saw in the beginning of the video, that goes to and fro in this harbor as well. So we offer many amenities. Of course, the shuttle service. We have an on-site restaurant, which is Ocean 362, and the bar, which was also highlighted in Kay's video, which has an amazing view and sunset view, which looks out towards St. Thomas. There's an on-site coffee shop, convenience store to get the basic grocery items. As I mentioned, we do have full kitchens, so That is a huge perk, I think, for families who maybe they don't want to have to go out to a restaurant for every single meal. We can do the pre-arrival provisioning as well and have their kitchen fully stocked prior to their arrival, so they don't have to waste precious vacation time in the grocery store. And again, with a full kitchen, they can cook and have breakfast with their coffees out on the balcony with the view, as opposed to going out for every single meal. We offer the complimentary rental car parking for our guests. We do now have a new car rental agency on site called Cruz Bay Car Rental. It's a small fleet of cars, but absolutely the most convenient way to go for guests staying at Gallows Point Resort. You just walk from the lobby and into the parking lot and pick up your rental car. And the same thing for drop-offs. You don't have to do that kind of hassle of going to the car rental agency upon arrival and departure. It's all right there at Gallows Point Resort. So definitely recommend, if you're booking clients at a Gallows Point Resort, first book the room, next thing book the rental car, because rental cars do sell out pretty far in advance. So always good to do those two things, one after the other. As Kay mentioned, we have the fitness center. We have, of course, free Wi-Fi, the pool, jacuzzi, and then the full concierge, which can assist, with any questions you have and booking any of the activities, charter boat rentals, and such prior to arrival or when they're on site. So we have the small fitness center, and it's a fitness center with a view of the water, which is lovely. So you can run on the treadmill and watch the waves. And our on-site restaurant is Ocean 362. We have an amazing chef there, Chef Walter Hines, who has just been getting raving reviews. He's well known in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And it's just, you don't want to miss having a meal there during your stay. So definitely we always recommend maybe the first night, the guests can just walk from their room. Right upstairs above the lobby is the restaurant with its open air dining with the view of the water, and incredible food and cocktails. So open 6 days a week, closed on Tuesdays. Definitely recommend having at least one meal there. And it is only open for dinners nightly. So no breakfast or lunch, just dinners. Our Gallows Point Resort Gifting Gourmet does offer small breakfast items like bagels and muffins and such. And of course, the grocery items I mentioned earlier. For a full breakfast, guests can just walk about 3 to 5 minutes, stroll into town. And there are many breakfast, lunch, and other dining opportunities in Cruz Bay. Finally, with one of the big things that we offer, and I think we offer a wonderful venue for, is special events, especially weddings. We host many weddings every year. Our wedding site, the largest wedding site, can accommodate up to about 150 guests. And we have the Harbor View Lower Lawn, which faces the harbor. It's right on the water, and it's just an excellent venue for either the ceremony and the reception. Ocean 362 does all the catering for any events at the resort. They do a wonderful job. And so I have a document in the handouts, which is our wedding document, which lists our elopement package and then the different group offerings, kind of small, medium, and large, with the site fees. So you can take a look at that, and we can review that quickly as well. As I mentioned, Ocean 362 does the private events and catering at the resort. And, if you have clients who are on their honeymoon, definitely let us know. For a fee, we can set up the rooms with rose petals and, set up the honeymoon suite for them. We can do any of those special things that you want to do to make your client stay special. Of course, with COVID, we always have this listed, which just shows that we, of course, take the health and cleanliness seriously. And we have been extremely lucky during the whole pandemic. And all of our guests have been safe. And so happy to say we got through the worst of it spared. But of course, we still take the cleanliness seriously and make sure we abide by all regulations, make sure our guests are in good hands during their stay. So that ends the slideshow. I will go over, and I'm looking at a question here. Okay, yes, we'll answer questions afterwards. So I'll go over quickly. In the handouts, I included our rate sheet, which shows the seasonal rates and the room categories. But I also have the wedding document, which I think it might be helpful to just quickly go over to answer some of the main questions that usually are asked. Yes, so of course, destination weddings usually will just work depending on the size of the group, how many guests are going to come. You let us know. We'll work on a group block. Usually, we do a 180-day cutoff date and have the guests pick up the rooms by 180 days. And then if they don't have a wedding planner, we can put you in contact with a couple of the local wedding planners on the island who have worked with us and do wonderful jobs. So we're always happy to share that information with you. So for the weddings on the island, at the resort, we do usually all weddings will be held between April and December. During our peak winter months, that we're really busy and it just doesn't make sense to have large weddings. But between April and December, April especially is a great month for weddings. It's great weather, not too hot yet. And that's one of our peak months for weddings, April and May. But of course, November and the first couple weeks of December are also fair game, as well as throughout have a summer wedding. So this document lists all the kind of details. This is the most probably important page here, just showing we have the small elopement package. That's really for basically two people who want to get married. They'll have an officiant and a wedding planner and maybe one other person, a photographer. And that's it. So it really is an elopement package. So they pay for 5 nights, and with a $3,500 fee, they can have the ceremony on site, dinner for 2 at Ocean 362, and a 5-day car rental. So it's just one package for all their basic needs. And it's surprisingly, it's a lot of people actually want to elope, or maybe not so surprisingly, in the Virgin Islands. So we do get a lot of requests for just the small ceremonies for 2. For larger groups, we have the intimate wedding group with a lower site fee of $3,500. They do have to meet the minimum room night requirement of 21. And the maximum number of guests is 15. So again, very small wedding. And then we go up from there to the medium wedding group with a bigger site fee, but also more guests, up to 75 guests with 95 minimum room nights. And then the large wedding group option, which is 125 room night minimum and up to 150 guests. Obviously, we're always willing to talk with you, work with you, see, what's the best fit for the group. And there's another option there for people who maybe don't need to fulfill so many rooms and are willing to pay a higher site fee instead of putting the burden on their guests to book the rooms. So that's just another option there. But yes, we're happy to answer any questions you have, whether you have guests who are eloping or they want to plan a full out, big destination wedding. We have the rooms to accommodate them, and we have done many, many weddings. So definitely have experience there with Ocean 362 doing the catering. A lot of the groups will have their ceremony on the green lawn with the water in the background, and then have their reception up at the restaurant. So that's everyone just walks right up. Makes it very easy. So that's a kind of great suggestion to have at the resort. And other than that, I Thank you. Yes, you have the handout with our rate sheet, which shows, the peak holiday season, which is the 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year's. And then we go into the winter season, which is basically goes, January through April. And then we have the shoulder season, the summer season, the fall shoulder season, and then back to the peak again. So if you have any questions, let me know.
We do have a few in here. Let's touch on some. So Miss Darlene is asking, well, I guess she's asking the both of us, for the clients that want to rent cars, is driving on the left or the right? You got to keep to the left.
Yes. So we have American cars. So the steering wheel is on the left and we drive on the left side of the road.
So that's just for fun. So I'm sure they'll enjoy that experience when they're in the USVI. Let's see. We've got some more for you here, Jamaica. And some stuff you did answer, but I want to just make sure everyone is on the same page. So when it comes to travel agent commissions, do you guys pay travel agent commissions?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We offer a 10% commission to travel agents. We do just ask that you send us your, a W-9, complete W-9 form from your agency, so we can set you up as one of our travel agencies in our file. And then we offer the 10% commission on the pre-tax rate.
And for everybody who was looking for the handout, it's in there now. I just had to click a button. So if you're still in need of those handouts and you didn't see them in the handout section, go back. They're there now. Miss Brenda wants to know, how many weddings a day do you do at the property?
So we only would do one a day. Yeah, we have 2 sites, but the main one is the Harbor Lawn. And so that's the one for any group over 45 would be on the Harbor Lawn. So basically one wedding site. And the property is relatively small, so we wouldn't want to have one wedding up at the amphitheater and one down on the Harbor Lawn because they're too close. But there are 2 options. So if it's a smaller group and they want to be a little bit up higher in a kind of more intimate setting, we offer the amphitheater.
All right. So we know you do direct bookings, but can the agents find you with any wholesalers like Classic, Travel Impressions, any of those?
No, not at the moment. That might change, but as of right now, we just do the direct bookings. Some travel agent, we do offer our to book rooms on booking.com and Expedia. However, I always tell travel agents, I don't know, unless you get any special perks, it's much better just to book directly with us so we can, work with your clients and answer any questions you have directly.
Okay, a question about the restaurant. Is Ocean 362 open to the public or just resort guests?
It is open to the public, so open to all. Yes.
Another question about the decor in the units. Are they privately owned units and are they all decorated differently?
Yes and yes. So each unit is private, individually owned. So there will be, the layout is the same in all the upper units and all the same in all the lower units, but there will be, different art on the walls, different, paint, color palettes and furniture. But that being said, I know, some people worry that, it's totally up to the owners how they keep their room, and that's not true. We do have the resort standards. The resort manages the rooms on their behalf. So we do the inspections every year, and every unit must be up to the resort standards. So there's not going to be any level of difference in quality, just decor, personal preferences.
Question about renovations. When was the last renovation on property?
It was every year we go through, of course, and do the individual renovations, but the major renovations were done after the 2017 hurricanes.
I think you did answer this, but just in case, car rentals. Can we talk about the car rentals available from the resort and the stocking of groceries?
Yes. So the car rental, they're right on site. It's a small fleet. There is a 5-day rental minimum at the car rental agency. Depending, sometimes we can offer less days if there's a gap between 2 other reservations. But we actually can book, us reservationists at the resort can also book the car rentals. So it can be a very seamless process where we finish your room reservation and we go right in to book your client their rental car. So very easy. The rate that we offer 4-door Jeeps, brand new. Our fleet, that's one thing, is it's a brand new fleet of cars. You're not going to get any funky island cars. They're all brand new Jeep Wranglers. So 4-door, 2-door Jeeps. We also offer Toyota RAV4s, which are also 4-wheel drive vehicles, as well as Toyota Highlanders, which can accommodate up to 6 people. So the rates go from $110 to $140 for the Highlander. $110, $120, and $140 a day, plus taxes and fees. And then for the grocery provisioning, we have all the information in the confirmation for our room reservations, but we would put you in contact with a concierge, their email or phone number, and they'll give you the provisioning list, and you can create the order for your guest, for your client, and that can all be stocked in the room for a nominal fee prior to the guest's arrival.
Is Gallows Point accessible for people with mobility challenges?
So I'm going to honestly say it's not very friendly. I would, in terms of the, wheelchair friendly. If we have had many guests who stay on the resort, if they can, perhaps get up out of the wheelchair and walk and maybe take a step or two, we definitely have some units you would want to let us know, and we could book them in units that have the least amount of stairs, are more wheelchair friendly. However, if somebody is, only in their wheelchair and, cannot get out, I would not book them at Gallows Point Resort. And we're just, transparent about that. There are many stairs on the property, and as well as like into the showers. There's a step into the shower, so that can create problems as well.
Question about any fees for the shuttle?
No, the shuttle is complimentary for our guests on arrival and departure. We do get this question a lot. Sometimes, guests ask if they can go here and there with a shuttle. We don't do separate trips for guests in the shuttle. However, if they're always welcome to jump on the shuttle whenever it's doing its rounds back and forth from town. So a lot of guests, they'll be in town and they know the Gallows Point shuttle is always at the ferry terminal, 20 minutes after the hour to pick up guests. So you can always walk right over and jump on the shuttle to get back to the resort. So that's always a nice option. Yeah, that being said, you can walk to everything in Cruz Bay to get to all the beautiful beaches on the north shore of St. John. It's just a 10-minute taxi ride. We can arrange the taxis to pick up the guests at the resort, or they can stroll into town and always pick up a taxi right at the ferry dock. The other great option, if you have guests who are more active and want to do the hikes, there are a couple hikes that can be taken right from Cruz Bay. So they can walk from the resort to the National Park Visitor Center in Cruz Bay. And right behind that building is one of the trailheads that goes to some of the most beautiful beaches, Solomon and Honeymoon Beach.
We actually did that. We did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great option, and there's no vehicle needed to get there. So.
All right, this question is for me. So someone wants to know, is Margaritaville where Sugar Bay used to be? No, it's not. Margaritaville is, if you've been in travel for a while, the old Renaissance property. So it's right before you get to Sugar Bay. So no, it is not, but thank you for asking. I think I answered the majority of the questions in the chat while you were presenting, Jamaica. So
I do see, I don't know if sorry if I missed this question. Do any unit have 2 queen double beds?
I didn't see that one.
And no. So every unit has the king bed in the bedroom, a queen size sleeper sofa, pull-out sleeper sofa in the living room, and then the option for a single roll-away bed to be brought into the living room as well. But no double beds.
Okay, I have Ms. Cheryl asking, if coming into St. John for the day from a cruise, is it easy to rent a Jeep for the day? Better to reserve it early. Yeah, you can rent a a Jeep for the day in St. John, definitely want to reserve it early, because it's such a small island. You don't have the people rent well in advance, so you could be finding yourself not having a car available. So I think anywhere, even if you're going to be on island for a long period of time, if you can book as far in advance as possible, Cheryl, that you'll be doing yourself a tremendous favor by doing that. So yes, that's definitely an option. So Susan was just asking, getting around the island, is it car rental only? No, taxis are another option as well. But for the folks who are going to be there for like 5 days or more, you may find that car rental is the more cost-efficient option for you. So just something to bear in mind when you're advising your clients. Susan is asking, what is the newest property on St. Croix? We haven't had a new build on St. Croix in a while, but we've had a lot of renovations. So a lot of those properties that I showed in the presentation were properties that have been recently renovated. So no new builds to speak of, but we do have a lot more new renovations getting ready to happen on St. Croix as well. So just keep that in mind. Any of the beaches offer rental of chairs? Well, yes, you will have that option available. And maybe Jamaica, you can touch on what you guys do for folks who want to go to the beach from your property as well.
Yes. So we offer, it wasn't listed in the amenities in the presentation, but for our guests, we have beach chairs that are complimentary. They can take to the beach every day. We just ask that they bring them back so we can spray off the salt water at the end of the day so they don't rust. But yes, so we offer the beach chairs, also coolers, and of course, beach towels for all of our guests. On St. John, I believe, I want to say maybe only Trunk Bay offers beach chair rentals.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, I know Trunk Bay is only one. There's a concession stand, and then Honeymoon also has concessions, but I don't know if they have beach chair rentals.
Right. A lot of folks were asking about the videos. These are the links that you can access the videos and our socials for you guys who didn't catch it earlier. Our YouTube channel, visit USVI, is where you can get some of those longer videos. So just make sure you follow us on all of our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter platforms. We are always posting some great content that you can share with your clients. And I am as well. So here's my Facebook. You can follow me or send me a friend request. I just posted a really cool short video on Carnival last night that's really getting a lot of people interested and excited as well. So if you're looking for fresh content to generate interest on the destination, we've got it for you. So just follow us and give us a like or a follow, and you'll have plenty to share with your clients. So Jamaica, thank you again for your time. Great presentation. I love Gallows. It's a wonderful property. If you guys haven't sold it or stayed there yet, you're missing out. So make sure you let your clients know all about Gallows. It is really a wonderful gem of a property on a beautiful island. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As I said, we are recording, so if anybody was late or had to jump off, it's okay. We've got it for you. We got you covered. We've got some more sessions coming up in April, so stay tuned for some more really great presenters in the U.S. Virgin Islands. But so long for now. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Kay.
Bye-bye.